This is just a few questions. Just a few questions. I'm your host, Marc Sims, and I have Candi Har on the line from Houston, Texas. Candi, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Mark?
See, Candi, when I used to see you on the social media, you were living in Chicago. What happened?
I relocated to Houston for, better opportunities. So originally I moved to Houston to teach, because I went to school for education. And then now I'm currently in the career change process. I'm career changing into healthcare, and Houston's really big on that. So it's kind of like the medical center is like one of the biggest medical centers in the country. So that's why I decided to move here.
I ain't been to Houston like 20 years, and that medical center is huge. But
Yes.
before I get going here, as we're already going, what was life like in Chicago before you went to college? Did you like Chicago growing up here?
I liked Chicago growing up, but I grew up poor, so it's it's just a different dynamic. But I liked it. I couldn't really go out much. My mom didn't really let me go outside much because some of the areas that we lived in weren't so safe. So I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. But I mean, I liked it. Honestly, I didn't really go out much though. So
But your mama did
can't.
the right thing and got you off to St. John and Queens, and you went to another school in New York. How did you go to college in New York from Chicago?
I just applied, honestly. But what happened was, so I think masters is always easier to get than bachelors because a lot of institutions, like let's say if you're applying for an undergraduate degree at an institution, you don't get in. I would recommend, just if you want to go back and get a master's, apply for that same institution because they're a little bit. It's a tick. It the acceptance rate is a little bit better. So like I went to Berkeley College in upstate New York for my undergrad, and then I went to St. John's for my master's. So honestly, I didn't get into St. John's like right out of college. I mean, right out of high school. But then I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I applied for my master's and I got in right away.
And
So
you told
that's
me,
what I would recommend for students who like have a dream school. Because I was really St. John's was one of my dream schools. Who for students who have a dream school, but they might not get in for their undergrad if they want to get a master's. A lot of times the prospects are better.
but you didn't. And while you were living in Chicago, you said before we went on the air, you only went to the CPS 1 year. Most of your schooling was in the Catholic schools, right, Candy?
Yes, it was in a Catholic school, and I went to public school for 1 year, and my family was like, "Why would you send her to public school?" Like they didn't really like that. So, because my grandmother, she taught and she was a teacher for a while. And so, yeah, all of us were like my mom and my aunts, everybody was Catholic school educated. So, yeah. And then I went to Queen of Peace. I will say Queen of Peace, although we did have some racial experiences at Queen of Peace, but it was a good school,
What you was
you
it? What
know,
was the other Catholic school you attended? St.
for high
Margaret, right?
school.
What you said, St.
Yeah,
Margaret?
no, St. Margaret was for grammar
Uh
school,
huh.
and then yeah, Queen of Peace was for high school.
And so, how did you get down for after college? What made you leave Chicago and go to Houston, Texas?
Well, one was warmer weather. Two, this might sound crazy, but my dating prospects, because in Chicago, it was really hard for me to find a guy that I connected with. Now, I'm not saying that anywhere it's like a utopia and it's going to be easy dating, period. Everywhere has their challenges, but I just wasn't finding anybody. So I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. And then I was like, the weather is warmer. And then also I wanted some place that had great black spots that you can go. Like if you come to Houston, we have great black spots where everybody hangs out. We have a good time. There's no shootings. None of that going on. And I feel like Chicago used to have that, but it's non-existent anymore. Like Houston, we have Turkey Leg Hut. We have literally you can go on Emancipation Avenue and there's so many black businesses, and we have just great lounges, and there's always black events from like galas to whatever you want. Like there's a really great black social scene here, and that's something that I wanted. And the only place I know other than that is that would be kind of like Houston would be like in Atlanta in terms of like the black social scene. And so, but I didn't want to move to Atlanta. But that's one of the things I like about Houston. So that was something that I was looking for as well because I don't really go out a lot back home. And I was like, okay, if I move somewhere, I want to be outside, especially because the weather's pretty warm here all year round. It's like, okay, I want to go outside and be able to mingle and make friends. And so I wanted to be able to do that, without fear that, okay, somebody will, be drinking too much and start shooting and that's it. And so that's one of the things I like about here because I do have a social life. I'm out all the time. And it's just Houston's just really, really a fun city. And like I said, it's something for everybody. It's not really classes. It's like you can be a janitor, you can have your own business, you can be in corporate. Everybody just gets along for the most part, and that's what I love. And honestly, the business because I have an interest in having my own business as well soon. And there's a lot of businesses here, black businesses, and I do say that black Houstonians, people that live in Houston, do like patronize the black businesses. There's so many here, and they're like every day you see more and more black businesses pop up. Like I have some close friends that they make about they're entrepreneurs and they're black American entrepreneurs, and I have two close friends. They make like six figures from their businesses, like middle six figures, like middle to high six figures from their businesses, and most of their customers are black. So that's something I like that I don't really see back home, unfortunately. And then I also think when you're in Houston, like it kind of motivates you to like want to have your own business, because you just see it around you, like there's really a support for the black entrepreneur. And also they always have classes about being entrepreneur. And also the Urban League has like programs where they'll even like help you fund your business. So it's just like all these different things that can assist you as an entrepreneur here. And so that's one of the things that I love about it as well. So
Well,
that's one of the things that attracts me to Houston too. And then also the medical field, all the connections that you can make, and being that that's a career that I'm going into. And then also the cost of living. Now, the cost of living has gone up in Houston because so many people, since I've been here, so many people have moved here. But I would say it's about the same as Chicago, but you get more for your money. So like
right.
my part, because my mom lives in Evergreen. So me and my mom, we pay about the same price, but I get like, pool, fitness center, gated community. I live in like in more of a luxury complex. And my mom just lives more like a regular apartment.
No, you paint a good picture, and I'm going to have to end this podcast. I haven't been to Houston over 20 years. The Astros were still playing in the Astrodome last time I was there, but you have painted a good picture, and I'm gonna. Can I send this to the leaders of Chicago so they can get on it because they are really blowing it here in this town. And if whether people stay in Chicago or move, that's not my concern. But you have made me want to take another trip to Houston, Texas.
Okay, no problem.
Candy, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the social media, and thank you for telling us so much about Houston, Texas. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a great day.